ABC Action News is keeping you informed this election year. We're offering candidates in the major races 5 minutes to talk about the issues. Here's Brendan McLaughlin with tonight's Democracy 2010 profile.
I'm here with Randy Wilkinson. He is the Tea Party candidate for Congress in District 12, the seat left open by Lakeland Bartow Congressman Adam Putnam running for Agriculture Commissioner. Thanks very much, Randy, for being on Democracy 2010.
Thank you for having us.
Let me start by asking you, explain what it means to be a Tea Party candidate as opposed to, say, a Republican who's running with the support of the Tea Party.
Well, Florida has the very first official Tea Party in the United States of America. There's only a handful, and so we are a true third party. And I think that is important because I believe that the Republican Party is well on the way with John Boehner and others in Congress trying to co-opt the movement. And certainly we don't want that to happen. It's a pure roots movement, and we need to keep it that way.
Would you say, though, that your goals and ambitions align much more closely with the Republican Party than the Democratic Party? Would that be fair to say? I
would say their stated philosophy, but they have not kept to that philosophy. And I've always been a middle-class-based Republican. I fight for the middle class. I've always gotten probably more votes from Democrats, maybe not as high a percentage, but I do better in general elections because a lot of those middle class folks out there have appreciated what I've done in lowering taxes, bringing jobs, that sort of thing that they care about.
Based on your website, it seems like one of your top priorities is the way that laws are written in Congress right now, the way they're written and the way they are passed. What are some of your chief concerns about the process?
Well, the process is broken, and that's the first thing we need to do. And I would push 4 basic acts or laws. One would be the Read the Bills Act. Every bill would have to be read in its entirety on the floor of Congress before a quorum. Number 2 is the One Subject at a Time Act, which would prohibit basically your earmarks, your bridges to nowhere, putting hate crimes legislation in Pentagon budgets. So it'd be one subject at a time. Thirdly, the Constitutional Authority Act. Every bill would have to pass muster of the Constitution. And number 4 is the Write Your Own Laws Act. No longer would lobbyists write the laws, but the congresspersons themselves would be responsible for that task.
The deficit spending, of course, is a top issue with the Tea Party, with libertarians, and, well, I think it's a big issue with everybody right now. Most economists, though, believe that anybody who's serious about this issue has to acknowledge the fact that to reduce the deficit, at least in the short, medium term, you're going to have to look at both tax increases and fairly substantial cuts in the major entitlement programs. Are you on board with both of those, or are you one of those?
I'm on board with the spending cuts.
So you believe that you can reduce the deficit without increasing taxes?
We just proved that in Polk County, and I led the way there. We had 4 Rhino Republicans vote 4 years ago for the
Republicans in name only, I should
Republicans
clarify.
in name only. My 4 cohorts voted for a 25% property tax increase. When I got reelected and my opponent was running to support that, I got reelected and got a mandate from the people, and we have lowered property taxes about 33%, and we have cut spending during that same period by about the same. We've cut spending from $1.8 billion to $1.3 billion. That's a $500 million cut. And we did that with a process that I brought to Polk County called budgeting for outcomes. We still produce, in fact, we've increased services to our citizens, but we've cut the costs and created efficiencies to the tune of 33% of our budget. So it can be done. If we can do it in Polk County, and there was a lot of blood and sweat and some tears in that, we can do that in Washington, D.C.
And thanks very much for being on Democracy 2010. Mr. Wilkinson is your Tea Party candidate for Congress in District 12. He faces a Republican and a Democratic nominee. The election is November 2nd. Back to you.